Hey guys, I hope you're doing well, and today's short video is I am trying to compile a list of types of manipulation that I've heard about, and so far I've come up with 10. I'm sure I'm going to add more of them as time goes by. So the first kind of manipulative tactic that toxic people like narcissists are going to use is weaponized incompetence. They're going to pretend they don't know how to do something just so they don't have to do something they don't like doing. The second one is financial entrapment. They're going to make it really hard for you to run a business or do a job or find income in some kind of way. Another one is love bombing, which is actually recognized as a form of punishable kind of manipulation in the UK. I think they are like 100 steps ahead of everyone else in these regards. And love bombing is making someone believe that you're head over heels in love with them, and this is all done in a really short time, an unreasonably short time. You can't have known someone long enough to be professing these kinds of things that love bombers do. Like they want to marry you, they want to start a family with you, they want to be with you forever, and such shenanigans. Another kind of manipulative tactic is gentle coercion. They are going to sweet talk you and use emotive words just to get you to do something that you would much rather not do, and I'll go into the details of this in some other video. Another kind of manipulation tactic is when someone switches up how they act when they're around you in public and they in private. So they will be like two different people that you have to deal with depending on who is present, and that's just terrible. It's something that most covert narcissists, actually all of them, probably do. The sixth kind of manipulation is when someone pretends that they don't hear what you want, so they don't know what you want, despite you saying it countless times and sometimes even going to the lengths of demonstrating it. They will still turn around and say, but you never said this, you never said it this way, you never used these specific words that will have made me understand you better. Another kind of manipulation is constantly talking about past events. This is something that the manipulator does. They will talk about past events that led to them getting hurt, that led to their trauma, and they're going to talk about this. What's going to make it a manipulation is the times that they will choose to talk about this. They will either talk about it at a time when you're expecting them to take responsibility for something that they've done wrong, or when they've hurt you, even when they've physically or verbally assaulted you. Then they will suddenly bring up the fact that they lost a puppy when they were 7 and it really hurts their heart, so that they can throw you off balance and they don't have to take responsibility for the foul act that they did. Another type of manipulation is when someone disrespects your boundaries. You will keep telling them that you don't like them doing a certain thing in a certain way, and they will keep doing it, and they will pretend that it's an accident, or they forgot, or they're just used to doing it, or they don't know that you don't like it that much, and they will never stop doing it. Another kind of manipulation is when someone plays nice just so that they can get something out of you. And this is something that you're going to see in these self-professed nice guys who are always lurking in the corners waiting for a woman to get hurt, and then they'll turn around and say, see, that wouldn't have happened if you had settled for a nice guy like me, but you ignored me, the nice guy, and went for that guy who is now hurting you. And this is something so silly, because the fact that they're saying these things in the first place, it just shows that they're not nice. And then this niceness is conditional. It's never going to be shared or exposed to everyone. It's always going to be directed towards people that they're attracted to, either because these people are pretty, that's pretty privilege for you, either because these people have money, because these people have influence, because they're famous. These so-called nice guys aren't nice to everyone. You can just tell by the way they talk down on people who they feel are of a lesser standing than they are. And the last and worst kind of manipulation tactic that women have been accused of doing for eons, but men are also guilty of doing, is the infamous baby trap. Women do try to trap men with babies. I personally know one who did that, and well, it didn't work out well for her. And I don't know why this camera is acting like this. I'm not moving, am I? So yeah, men can also trap women with a baby, and they do this when they start feeling like the woman is starting to see through their manipulation. This is for people in relationships or in marriages that are just constantly on the rocks. So this woman will stop responding to this man's antics in the ways that he expects her to respond. So she's going to maybe start getting headstrong, and she might want to get out of that marriage. And what this man will think in his small dim head is that, wow, if I get her pregnant, then I will render her immobile for at least 2 years, because she has to go through the pregnancy, she has to take care of the young baby, and that's going to buy me time. That's their thinking, I promise you. When a man is trying to trap you with a baby, he's going to do things like refuse to use protection. He will refuse to he might even tamper with your birth control. He's going to start talking evil about people who do things like get abortions, and people who use birth control like emergency pills. He will just make you feel extremely guilty for not wanting to get pregnant for him, and at the end of the day, he has an ulterior motive, and this motive is to just get you trapped in that situationship. It's lower than a situationship. It's an inconvenience at this point. So his intention is going to keep you trapped in that place for much longer than you need to be. So stay vigilant, honestly. Stay aware. This and another type of manipulation that women are mostly known for, but that I have witnessed men do, and it's so silly, is crying and getting emotional in front of someone. So they will have done something extremely evil, sad, ugly, and silly, but then when you're trying to get them to take accountability for their actions, they will suddenly get very emotional and start crying. And these are just crocodile tears, really, because they could have waited until the day ended and just cried in their bed like normal people do by themselves. So tears can be a form of manipulation, but this is not in every case. Some people are just, their emotions are on like a trigger setting. So some people cry when they get yelled at, and really it's, if someone's been in some traumatic experience, event, or something like that, generally I'm saying unless someone has exhibited a number of these tactics, then maybe they're not being manipulative, but some of them are just outright manipulations, and I guess I'll go into detail into that in the future, but for now I have to leave. So keep that in mind, and I'll see you in my next video. Stay safe, stay aware.